Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro, and today we have the new moon in Libra occurring at 11:47 p.m. Very close to a new day, very close to tomorrow, actually, the 9th, but it is in the Eastern time zone occurring this evening at 11:47 p.m. It will be at 15 degrees 48 minutes of Libra. And let's take a look at what I've written for the new moon forecast for today. New moon in Libra, Monday, October 8th, occurs late in the evening, mixing strangeness with seriousness as you stand at some kind of a crossroad. Changes in the air as the moon forms a trine to Mars in Aquarius, and some people or events may be unpredictable and surprising. Over the course of the day, the moon will be square Saturn in Capricorn and then move on to square Pluto in Capricorn. For some, addressing a situation or a relationship issue may feel necessary, and as the intensity of the new moon grows, an ultimatum may feel like an imperative. Retrograde Venus in Scorpio may reveal secrets about a relationship, or you may suddenly become aware of feelings you have towards someone, or about love in general that you have repressed or denied, as Venus forms a trine to Neptune in Pisces and a square to Mars in Aquarius. Mercury in Libra square to the North Node in Leo, opposing Uranus in Taurus and sextile Saturn, may have you humming, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, if the course seems to be changing without you at the helm. Whatever choices you make at this new moon, you may have the thought in the back of your mind that your lesson, destination, or outcome will be what is right or best, even if appearances don't bear witness to that yet. The new moon can put you in the dark temporarily. If you feel off balance or sense things in the shadows, wait a day if you can before making a life-changing decision or starting something new. So that is the forecast for the new moon for October 8th. And let's take a look over at Planet Watcher and just get a visual on the aspect patterns. So here we've got that Moon-Sun conjunction and the quincunx to Neptune, the square to Pluto, and earlier in the day it was squaring Saturn. So things would grow in seriousness or intensity as we move toward the exactness of that new moon this evening. I think that for some people, if they are in the midst of relationship issues, as Libra can often bring about, or having to make a decision between one thing and another, as Libra can also bring about, it may just seem more extreme than normal because of the influence of Pluto. And this is why I do advise, if you can wait for this day to pass and see how you feel tomorrow, you might find that you are just not as worked up about something as you are right now. And maybe sleeping on something and letting your dreams give you some assistance while we have this quincunx to Neptune. Set your intentions before you go to sleep if you're seeking some sort of help or looking for guidance from the spiritual realm. Then the time spent sleeping may actually bring you something. And when you wake up in the morning, be ready, have a pen nearby, or nowadays people take their notes on their phone, whatever, but be prepared to write down your first memories and impressions from your dreams if you do set some intentions tonight before you go to sleep. This T-square I find really interesting because I don't think it is as challenging as many T-squares can be. It feels as though there are things that are going to happen one way or another. It just comes down to us deciding whether we're going to be reacting to things that are unusual or be reactive to changes, or if we are going to go with the flow and adjust and adapt. Now we do have cardinal energy and fixed energy involved in here, and cardinal can be boss-like and very, determined to have something their way, or their way is the right way, and fixed energy can be very stubborn, so there can be a little bit of tension there. However, the North Node, I think, is in the driver's seat, and if something is meant to be happening, it's going to come one way or the other. And I think the most important thing is to crack open your mind and be receptive or get the lesson. If you feel that there is something that you need to change within yourself, even if it's something that you've always believed or you've always held on to, and now you have a different point of view, don't be afraid. Be courageous. The Leo energy is courageous. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. Nothing wrong whatsoever with thinking in a different way. And if it's going to be a necessary thing for you to be able to adjust and adapt or open up your mind and perhaps take a different point of view on something, then there might be a life lesson in it, and it might point you towards something that is very destined or is supposed to be happening or coming up ahead in your life if you're willing to open up your mind and change. So that is what I find most interesting about that aspect pattern. The trine that we have going on here, and has been here for a while because they're slow moving with Saturn and Uranus, and they are quite different in their energies in that one wants to change and the other wants to develop foundations, and the trine can help them work together. So new things can be established, and it is occurring in Earth. So keep working at things, keep persisting, even if it's something new, you can develop a daily discipline or habit, and after a while it will become just what is common or accepted or what is very well established. So it may take some time, it may feel as though things aren't going as quickly as you would like them to go, but just keep persisting while that trine is there to help you out. We also have a nice trine going on between Venus and Neptune, and here we have some sensitive water energy, and this can help with getting the things that you most desire. The key to that, though, is knowing what you truly desire, and it may not be material, it may be more about the spirituality of it. Venus in Scorpio rules the 8th house, and that can rule things like intimacy, sexuality, money, business money, investments, inheritances. It's where we merge our assets and share our assets and merge our boundaries under that sign of Scorpio. And with the retrograde of Venus going on as it trines Neptune, I would be considering the value of things and what is most important or what is truly important if you are going after something material. What might you have to give up or lose in that pursuit of gain? And is it really a gain if you're going to go after something? Will you be gaining? Or is it just going to be swapping out something for something else? On the level of romance, then I would also be looking at the spiritual side, the romantic side of love, and considering whether you are expressing your desires to somebody fully, or perhaps is it really love that you are experiencing, or is it just a sexual attraction? Is something more developing? Or perhaps you want to reestablish a deeper bond with somebody or go back into a relationship that you have not been able to let go of and forget. So if there is anybody that you cannot let go of or forget from the past and you have been thinking of reaching out, this is a good time for doing that. And especially as we have Mercury about to leave here in another day and enter Scorpio and begin to advance toward Venus at the same time that Venus is retrograding, and they actually will be making a conjunction right around the 13th to the 15th. So that weekend may be significant for some people in relationship if they are looking to deepen the bonds or to reestablish something with someone from the past. So that's how it looks astrologically, and Mars, of course, square to Venus. I think we're just seeing in society right now some of this. Things have not changed all that much for women. That's all I'm going to say about it. And I think women also need to look at their role in that, though, and what they are doing about that. So it's not just all on one sex or the other, but there's definitely tension and there are issues and problems. And society as a whole needs to come up with a new way of handling it or dealing with it from what I see astrologically. So let's take a look at the Sabian symbol. I read through this and I read through it a few times and I was just like, okay, maybe I'm just too tired for all of this right now. Or maybe it's just too deep for me at the moment. I'm going to read through it and I probably don't have much to say about it. Okay, Libra, 16 degrees. After a storm, a boat landing stands in need of reconstruction. The need to keep in operation steady links between the vast unconscious and the ego consciousness. Confrontation with broad issues of relationship and currents of energies released by man's contact with archetypal spiritual realities often results in temporary destruction. Boats normally link distant regions or enable men to draw food from the sea, i.e., new realizations which so far existed only in the unconscious realm of the planetary mind. Okay, so something that connects. They may also be used to enjoy temporary excursions and the feel of the water and the waves. Any cultured society, however, may be wary of the danger inherent in venturing far away from the consciously defined and socially structured ways of life. Such adventures may indeed turn destructive. The points of contact between the vast unconscious and the ego consciousness, molded by cultural assumptions and rituals, may be wrecked by psychotic storms. The boat landings must then be slowly reconstructed. Okay, so if things are messed up, you got to fix them. And if we go outside of boundaries that are considered safe or comfortable or within cultural parameters, then we need to build something back up again or repair the damage. So this is the first stage in the 40th five-fold sequence of cyclic phases in human experience. It brings to us vividly the realization that whatever men build in order to be able to venture away from solidly individualized and conscious bases of operation is likely to be damaged by as yet unfamiliar cosmic forces. The tenuous link between two realms constantly needs repair. Well, another thing that came up in my mind when I read through this was that meditation is perhaps one of the best ways to create or open up the connection between the unconscious and the conscious and the cosmic forces. So I would think that time that we spend right now in our own mindfulness or awareness, I think it's very important. The two things that we have going on for us that are really extremely supportive, I feel, in the heavens with all the patriarchal destruction, basically, and the abuse of power and having it be put in our faces and being gotten away with, or the feeling that we are not being able to do anything about it. I think there has to be a certain level of spiritual grounding that goes on, and that the power of Pluto here is supported by this sextile to Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune in Pisces, it's in its ruling sign, and it can bring us all kinds of understanding and opening up to energy that can heal, transform, and inspire, uplift, and be an inclusive thing rather than, the destruction and upheaval and constraints or arbitrary rules that might be what society is dealing with. And I feel like on an individual or a personal level, it is up to us to become more aware of the spirituality or the human side of what's going on. And it's not just about whose team is winning. And it seems that the more we get into contentious things in our society now, it's almost like listening to people rooting for sports teams, and issues and basic human rights are being trampled and ignored, and it's more just a big upheaval with people yelling at each other and supporting their sides, taking sides, and that is not where we're going to benefit. We're only, I think, going to benefit if we can get it together here with Neptune and Chiron. And as the faster moving personal planets make supportive aspects to these two slower moving planets, spend time in meditation, thinking of things being better rather than thinking in terms of anger or upsetment, and begin to do the things proactively that you are able to do, using the energy of Mars in Aquarius. Go out there and do something. Be proactive, but I would say do it through the things that matter, like get out there and vote, or go out and volunteer in your community. If you see a problem with something, go out there and contribute your time and energy in a way that can fix it. So anyhow, that's it for the new moon and the Sabian symbol for the new moon. And just briefly, for those who do not know, I've added blog posts here on my site. There's a new one here for Halloween that you can read, and I'll be adding more articles in here as time goes by. A lot of them are sitting right now over at Quora and have to be brought over and put onto my site. So there'll be more for you to read in the future. And as always, I'm available for personal consultation. So I look forward to talking to you soon, and everybody be safe and enjoy this new moon.